Honorable Member of Parliament, Sri Tarun Vijay ji, Dr. Ravi Gupta ji, Sri R. Chandrasekhar ji, Sri Rajiv Agrawal ji, Rakesh Ranjan ji, Mehnaz Ansari ji, Manoj Agrawal ji, distinguished guests, I won't take much time as the concept of a smart city and the role of ICT and also the vision of a smart city has already been explained in quite great detail by the distinguished speakers who have already spoken before me. I am from Ministry of Housing. So what I am going to do in next couple of minutes is basically draw your attention more towards affordable housing component in the smart city concept. As all of us are aware, slides are there, but I will be skipping many slides and just pointing your attention to some of the things. Please take note, I mean, we had discussed quite a lot about what exactly is a smart city. Primarily what we are looking at, improve infrastructure by using smart solutions and also improving the service delivery quality of life. What is perhaps very important when we come to the infrastructure, please note that apart from adequate water, assured electricity supply, which are all very important, government has been very keen to give a special focus on affordable housing because the cities are not going to be only for the rich people or only for the people who will be using all high tech, but they will all require people to have a very good and a smart affordable housing. So now when we talk of affordable housing, we have to also have a concept of how to improve these housing solutions and then what are the different ways of doing it. Of course, if you look at the core infrastructure, it covers a really whole gamut of physical infrastructure and social infrastructure. We are also talking about health and education in this thing, and we hope that we'll be moving on that. Please also note that the Smart City Guideline also very clearly mentions that we will be synergizing with the various other programs. And as all of us are aware, on 25th of June, 3 missions were launched in one go by the government, by our Honorable Prime Minister. It was Amrut, Smart City, and also Housing for All Urban. So all these 3 programs, in addition, there are many other programs of other ministries. We have to also look at synergizing them and then looking at their respective strengths and trying to move towards the smarter cities. When we look at area-based, I think we need not emphasize, but basically we are looking at 3 approaches. A city can have a combination of the 3, or they can just look at one thing. So a lot of freedom is there, as Mr. Chandrasekhar also explained, to the state governments, to the states when they make the plan for the city. It has to come from them only. So basically it's either city improvement or city renewal or going for a totally greenfield development of a city. And if you look at the greenfield development, the guideline very clearly once again talks about affordable housing being a major part in greenfield development of a city. So this again we are looking at various things. One thing when we look at area development, area-based approach, please note so far generally in urban development or in housing, we have been looking at project-based approach. So a DPR comes and a project is approved. That will be primarily the approach in Amrut mission, but in a smart city we are looking at a particular area and look at a holistic solution of different core infrastructure and then go for that. And in this approach, whatever buildings come, 15% of that has to be there in the affordable housing category. Now just a few things about smart homes, and these are the use of ICT, which has already been explained by Chair President NASOCOM in quite a detailed manner. But we will have some of these things more focused for the housing and for the building component in the smart city. So some of them are infrastructure, some of them are basically to make the various service delivery in a much more efficient and smarter way. This one is again very important when we are looking at the environment. So we are not just looking at the housing, but the basically habitat improvement, and then how exactly the smart city will be going with sustainability and also energy efficient usage. And there, I think I have seen the schedule, there are various specific sessions for many of these things, and where perhaps the panelists will have a chance to discuss and then deliberate on many of these issues. This is again, most of you are known. I will also like to draw your attention to Housing for All mission guidelines, because many of the guidelines of Housing for All also is in conformity with moving towards affordable housing component in the smarter cities. We are talking about setting up a technology submission in Housing for All urban component specifically, where there will be a lot of emphasis upon developing new technology, adopting modern innovative technologies for faster construction, quality construction, prefab component may be there to play a great role. Coordination with various agencies, it may be Environment Ministry, it may be Urban Development, it may be many other specialized agencies to develop these things. We have already set up a kind of committee with key IITs and NITs to help states in developing these kind of support, and then again, that's where a forum like this will be quite useful to develop those kind of deliberations and concepts. Then lighting, then assistance in deploying environment-friendly and also disaster-resistant technologies. So this particular part of the Housing for All mission is also going to support the affordable housing core infrastructure component of a smart city mission. And then these are some of the other things. Again, looking at the adequate water will also lead to, we have to look at the recycle, reuse, decentralized water treatment plants. And then many of these things will also require improvement in our building bylaws, zonal requirements, because we are basically looking at mixed use pattern in the smart city. So there will be a lot of other governance things which will be required. And last but not the least, I will like to once again emphasize, and which was also emphasized by the Honorable Minister and MP and also by Mr. Chandrasekhar, that ultimately we require a smart leaders, a smart people at the ULB level, at the level in government, at every level. And then we have to look at changing our behavior. As someone already told, that we are looking at the way we look at development, the way we look ourselves. So it's not just an infrastructure mission, it's a mission to change our style of thinking and also behavior pattern, because that will really lead to a much better sanitation, much better environmental approach, and much better construction of affordable housing in this mission. Thank you.